Good morning and welcome to Today at the Races at Laurel Park. Tim Tulloch sitting in for Callie Francois for a couple days alongside Keith Fusel.
Yes.
Hey, Keith, it's been a while, but it's fun to be back at the chair.
Absolutely. Good to have you back. It's been a while for sure, and I've been looking. Where's Tim? He's back now today, and we've got a good day. I know a little bit of a break that we've had due to this unfortunate weather in the Mid-Atlantic region, but boy, we've got a couple cards ahead of us, some big fields, some contentious fields, and from betting opportunities, I think they abound here over the next couple days at Laurel Park. Glad to have everybody back.
Absolutely. Big 11-race card here today, including 2 3-year-old stakes, 2 carryovers in the Jackpot Super I-5 and the Rainbow Pick 6.
Yeah.
That's both in race 6. And you mentioned the good betting races. You and I have been here for a while. We've got a lot to get to, but typically at the end of turf season, the races become short. They become a little predictable. That certainly has not been the case since turf season has been over. In fact, I might make the argument some of these races have gotten better.
They've gotten better. We've had a couple barns kind of slide into here. You know, we see a Machado has come in and really done good things. And our fields, they've stayed intact. The field size is very good. I was definitely surprised. Sometimes, even as a chart caller and you know, used to be doing the morning line, you get a little bit of a reprieve. Not now. We haven't had it, and great job. And that goes credit to all of our horsemen that have been supporting the cards, the racing office that have to put these cards together. So it's a group effort, definitely.
For sure, and I've been handicapping the races. I still do my picks and stuff, and there's been some tough races to handicap, and the prices have reflected that for sure. Let's take a quick look outside. The track is listed as muddy. The track was trained over yesterday and this morning. 30 horses worked over the track this morning, all in racehorse times. 49s, 50s. I feel real confident in the track this afternoon.
Okay, yeah, sealed track. And we saw a couple weeks ago, we had a surface kind of like this. Speed was okay. You know, they rode a little bit of the inside and the speed took. We'll see if that track plays similar to what it did a few weeks ago. But yeah, everybody, I mean, all the crews here that have had to, you know, deal with this, the snow and everything. And you talked about it too. The snow was a little different than what we had a little bit north up where I live.
No doubt about it. In the Pimlico area where the snow was a little bit drier, it was a little bit lighter. It was wet snow here, and it just took a little bit more time.
All right.
Let's get to it.
Let's crank
Big
it.
card, first race, early pick 5, as always. 50-cent minimum, 12% industry low takeout, and the first race is for maiden 12.5s going 3/4 of a mile. Fillies 3-year-olds take out the 3 and the 9, and we're gonna get started with the 4. Sunny Sunshine for you, dropping while adding Lasix. Look, first 2 starts were okay.
Yeah, I thought this horse was run fun, and I'll even give a little pass on the 15th of December. A kind of a closer's lane, got involved in a very quick contested pace, a fade late the last 1/8 of a mile. Lasix going on is a high percentage for this barn. I think this one deters the other speed and can go on with it in the opener.
And you certainly know that Sheldon Russell and John Salzman are going to be sending right on out of there. A couple works since that last race. To the outside is the 8, Dazzling Demelza for Hugh McMahon. And this one's most recent was a bit of improvement. Yeah. It was probably against presumably softer out there Penn National.
A little bit. I mean, it was a definite improvement. This horse took play in both starts here at Laurel. Stretched out to a 1:16. Second start, no, not so good. Got a little confidence boost. Lasix going on by alternation. The stallion hits very, very high rate with the off-track runners. 17%, a little bit more improvement. I think this one can prompt the pace of Sunny Sunshine. I don't think she wants to go ahead and duel with that one. That could be to her detriment if she does.
We'll touch on real quick the 1 Denison Girls for Brittany Russell. Javion Toledo gets the call. They hit it about 30%. This one's dropping off some rest. Second time for Britt usually works.
Yeah, like I say, the barn is loaded. They can attack here in these spots. Has to run faster. Might take a little bit more play. I'm going to go elsewhere. Sunny Sunshine, get the lead, and improve your position from there.
4-8 for Keith in the opener, 1-4 for myself as we move to race number 2. Race number 2 kicks off the early pick 4. It's a non-winners of 2 for 10,000 going 3/4 of a mile, 4-year-olds and up. Keith, you gave us a ticket. Let's check it out.
Here's your ticket, $32. I had to kind of do a couple changes here late. We had some scratches that came in. 1-3-5-9 to get you started 4 deep in the first leg of this early pick 4. Race 3, whittled it down 2 and 6, 1 and 8 in race 4. And there's the spread again in race number 5, 2, 4, 8, 9. trash talking Larry, is Scratch was going to take a lot of play in there. I was going to try to beat that one. There's your ticket, $32. Should have some money saved. It's been a few days, right? So hopefully everybody's pockets are lined and ready to pour it in on this race card.
As long as you weren't paying the neighborhood kids to clean up the snow, like as Keith said, a couple scratches here in race 2, take out the 4 and the 10. We'll get started with the 1, the Great Gazoo, for Mikey Gorham. This one's dropping second off a break. Mikey's pretty good second off that type of layoff, about 21%. Rough trip in the most recent race on January 13th.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Was never really comfortable down inside. We have a couple unfortunate incidents during that race. This one had to steady into the turn, steady again, and it was kind of preserved late. I like the way that the jock just said, okay, we're going to wait for another day. Good on a wet track. I think can slide into position by top of the stretch. Some speed in here. Landon Jack, the 6, and Casino Tricks, they should separate from this field. Question is, can they get the 6 furlongs? Looking to pick up the pieces, I think it's going to be the 1, Great Gazoo. Casino Tricks, I think, can prompt and stay. Port Swing's interesting here. Your top selection, I don't know what to do. Horse, it showed some definite ability back in the spring, but Hammy only 2 for 30 on these kind of drops over the last couple years. But Port Swing brings anything close to the 3-back and 4-back race. It's lights out against this group. But that's serious question there. But I'm hoping that Great Gazoo can kind of get back on board for Mikey Gorham and J-Rod.
Certainly, like Great Gazoo, as you mentioned, the moisture in the racetrack is certainly going to help the Great Gazoo. I've got the 3 Port Swing on the top as we move to race number 3. We're going to take out the 1 in this event. We're going to go straight to the video screen and the 6, Little Baby Girl. We're going to pick this video up at the 3/8 pole on December 23rd.
Okay, the 23rd, and this one had no trouble, Tim, transferring to the main track. Had a couple turf starts to begin the career. Caught this field for maiden 30s and really ran big. Prompted, got through inside. Just a little bit of her horse. I think this Mo Tough was a churk up, if I'm not mistaken. A little synthetic to dirt switch to wear this one down. But Little Baby Girl, she was dead game to the wire by a stallion, Oxbow. 18% with the off-track runners. A forward factor definitely throughout in here. Scratch the 1 reads when you're looking at it. I mean, she might have a little bit of a pace edge against this group. Could get some pressure from the 3 Peaches Sweet Notion. She's going to be awfully tough. Shorter price.
I agree. She should be tough in this spot. She has not run a bad race in her career at the end of the day.
No.
And I think the off-track is going to make her a little bit better. As you mentioned, Oxbow out of an AP Indy mare. She may be loving that off going this afternoon in race number 3, the 2 Nami for Rudy Sanchez-Solomon. Turning back to 7/8 off a decent try, going a mile in the 16th most recently.
Had a little issue at the gate, wasn't quite tied on, broke a little slow, Tim, had to rush up inside. I'm going to try to maybe upset Little Baby Girl, a little higher price with Nami. We've been chasing this 0 for 11, but got beat by an 8-5 Lacey Gaudet horse in that race. But here's an interesting little stat for Rudy Sanchez-Solomon. The past 2 years on the dirt, 5 for 19, 26% route the sprint with these maiden claimers. $5 ROI speaks volumes to me. 2.687 in here. Golden Charm has been trying, knocking on the door 6 seconds. Marley's Ghost, interesting, confident bump up off the claim. Sneaky horse for a definite price here for Corrales. We've seen the movie before. Don't be surprised if this one can't grab a piece from off the page.
And we've saw the movie a lot to end 2023 from the Corrales barn. Nami draws inside. The break's going to be very, very important for Nami this afternoon. She's had a couple races where she hasn't gotten away the best, but the break's going to be important today.
She hasn't. Real quick, I'll touch upon that last race. Those internals as well, they were comparable to 3 in Life boys. So that to me speaks a little bit too. So Nami, you're right, going to have to get away cleanly. I think she can stalk and pounce at 7/8 if need be.
It's a good it should work for her. The distance really I feel like should work for Nami. 2.6 for Keith. 6.2 for myself in race number 3. Race 4 does kick off. The middle pick 4 this afternoon. Let's take out the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 and 5 and the 7 4 and up, which start for a claiming price of $12.5 or less. And last 3 starts or claiming price $20. Let's start with your top pick in here, Keith. That is the 8 Foolish Ghost for the Red Hot Jose Corrales. This is a 12-time winner. He's been in good form since arriving into the Corrales barn. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, real short field here. Going to have to rate just off the pace. I don't think he's as quick as Kadri. He's going to need to bring the two-back try if he's going to get it done. But I think 5.5 works. Privet Moon might go out and entertain Kadri. If it does, I think that'll enhance the chances from Foolish Ghost just off the pace. But Kadri, a little class drop in here, no doubt about it. Been involved in some serious flows. The off-track record is there, a pace factor throughout. But I think we'll take some heat from Privet Moon. Perfect Day does stay in. I was really disappointed in that last race. Maybe this one improves second off the claim for this one.
Going 7A. 7A can be a little bit of a funny distance, although it did run well back in June up there parked going 6.5, or excuse me, 7. Kadri is my best bet of the day. As you mentioned, getting a little drop. Has been facing some runners. Whitty, Brother Conway.
Sure.
You know, those horses don't hang around very often, and so I think he's certainly getting some relief here today with a off track, which he kind of likes.
And if we start seeing a trend early, some of these earlier races, that inside speed is good again. His chances even go further up this afternoon.
We'll move on to race 5. This is a non-winners of 3 for 10,000. A mile 16th is the distance. We're going to start with the 2. Strong Finish. This is a horse that you have on top. I use for Bobby Claceris. Gina Vello gets the call. We're going to take a look at the January 12th race. We're going to pick this up mid-turn.
Yeah, we caught this guy last time out, January the 12th. Very good inside day and got a beautiful ride, good position for Alvello last time. It was really good. And I tell you, inside out, it worked. I was wondering a little bit from a distance standpoint, but no, this horse follows through. It's a grinding style. Federal Defense. Now, it took everything to kind of run this one down. Federal Defense looked long gone here, heading to mid-stretch. But no, Strong Finish, determined, gets up, draws inside today. I love this draw at a mile and a 16th. The only thing that's kind of got me concerned, by Tappert, who's only about 8% with the off-track runners. But let's go bottom side. Very, very strong. The dam was 3 for 4 on an off-track, Tim. Second dam, 2 for 4, 4 for 5 in the money. Some quality races. So I'm going to stick with Strong Finish in here. There's not a lot of true speed. I think this horse can lay close enough. Foodie interests me. Your top selection as the speed. I know those internals weren't quick last time. It was a heavier track against Calvary Command. But you see my short comment in there. Held well. When they get beat 6, held well. The comment, this horse was trying every step of the way. I think has a pace advantage over this group. Muskoka Giant, this is an interesting as well. Interesting one as well. Hasn't tried dirt in a while. Only did it once. I think it was in a 3-year-old stake. Good number. Should love an off track by Curlin. Giants Causeway right Tim on the bottom.
That's what I have.
Yeah, I tell you, 23 for 88. 26% is this trainer, Churkop, going synthetic to the dirt over the last 5 years.
That's what I said about Muskoka Giant by Curlin out of a Giants Causeway mare, as you mentioned. Should handle the off track without any issue whatsoever. Foodie, I like this one today. Getting back to a mile and 16th. Favorite distance for Foodie in today's 5th race. Let's move on to race number 6. We've got a lot going on here in race number 6. First of all, the Jackpot Super Hi-Fi is here in race number 6. Race 6 has held together. 12 horses are going to the gate. This is going to be a great betting event here this afternoon. $3,954 in the Super Jackpot Super High 5 carryover. And our pick 6 gets started here in race number 6. $4,744 in race the pick 6 jackpot pick 6 carryover there this afternoon. I did a ticket. It's been a while, but let's see if I can pull one out of my hat. No singles this afternoon. In race 6, we're going to – sorry? Got to skip the ticket. We had a late scratch. That's right. We had a late scratch in the 10th while we were on air, so we'll redo that ticket. So bad ticket.
We got plenty of time.
We've
come
got
back
plenty
in the
of
afternoon.
time. Exactly. Let's talk about race 6 here. This is for 3-year-olds up and have not won a race in 6 months or have never won 4 mile and 16th. Good old hard knocking horses in here. $5,000 is the price. We're going to go straight to the video. 2 Galatians, your top pick, December 3rd, right here at Laurel Park. And we're going to look at this race from the half mile to the 3/8.
And just gets in a little bit of a tricky spot here. Wasn't going to beat the winner this particular day, but gets held up ever so slightly. The momentum started right around the 4.5 to the half. Had to steady there slightly, but rides the good part of the track down inside on the 3rd. And I thought kept on very willingly to the wire. Ace 9-9, a runaway winner. He's put up some big efforts of late in these starters. This is a drop. This horse was claimed a few races back at this level. I think looking at the field, Cavalry Command inside will go ahead and go. Working on a Dream. I know this is a horse Dan Illman likes at a price. I think we'll keep that one in his sights. Galatians, I think, should be well within range by the time they hit the quarter pole. I think his late kick can get him over the top. Attack mode to get back to the winner's circle for Galatians.
Yeah, I like Galatians in my pick. My biggest beef with Galatians is he's still a 9-year-old, only won 3 races. I love the way Cavalry Command has entered here this afternoon. Won the 3 lifetime for $10,000, 4 lifetime for $5,000. That's a winning move. Anytime you can do it, handles an off track. But I agree with you a little bit on the outside here. We talked about real briefly. What did we talk about real briefly? I don't know. I can't remember now.
Well, looking for justice, I think.
Looking for justice, that's exactly right.
I think, again, going to need the right kind of a trip. This horse, has some speed, has that kind of chasing. Maybe like this one a little bit better at a mile. But looking at the flow, I think should be able to drop in. Caught a horse that's on a roll right now, and Oxide did ride the best part of the racetrack to gain sec. Going to need another good setup to make that steady progression. I don't see him having the same kind of late kick, though, as the stablemate Galatians. 2, 3, 7, 4.
Yeah, let's talk about the 4, Steel Money. This horse is real interesting to me. I mean, his last race was too tough and too rough. Drops back down here to the nickel level. Draw a line through that last race. You see 3 or 4 races that certainly will work here in this nickel race.
It's interesting how he was improving, and then the protect move up to 20. It did have some sneaky trouble there. We got it caught there up on heels, had to check pretty sharply just as his real running was started. Again, attack mode for an owner-trainer combo that over the last several months has been deadly.
This will be a fun race number 6 here at Laurel Park, and I misspoke. This is a full field of 14?
I think it's 12, I think.
No. Oh, yeah, a full field of 10. Sorry,
10.
going to mile 16. Okay. I'm sorry. We got 4 on the also eligible as mile 16. Just a little rusty, but let's go to commercial, and let me catch my breath. We'll be back in a moment with the second half of our card.
Thoroughbred Racing is taking vital steps to make our sport safer. These include the use of independent veterinarians, strict anti-doping and medication controls, and a single national authority empowered to create uniform standards and enforce reforms. With each step, more data is gathered, accountability demanded, and progress made as safety takes the lead. Visit ntra.com/safety for more.
Welcome back to Today at the Races. Tim Tulloch alongside Keith Fustel. We're going to move on to race number 7. Race 7 kicks off the late pick 5. This is a starter race for 4-year-olds and up. We started for $8,000 or less in the last 3, or claiming price $12,500. Take out the 3 and the 7. We're going to get started on the outside. Your top pick. The 9, Nepotism for Anthony Ferry. This is one I do to get to at the bottom here. Sheldon Russell gets the call coming in for Mahoney Valley, where Anthony Ferry has set up shop up there at Mahoney, and he's climbed right to the top of the heat up there at Mahoney.
I think I like up against it, though. We'll take up against it tonight.
Oh, did I say?
That's all right.
Yeah,
the numbers were flipped. That's okay.
Yeah, I like up against it too. I was wondering why. Yeah, David Mohan here, a big win in most recent. But that is true.
Right.
Ferrier is owning Mahoney Valley. That's a horse that one of us got to. But
absolutely,
we probably just put the 6 in the winner's circle.
Yeah, and I think nepotism can definitely be a factor in here. But I go up against it. 10-1 morning line. Going to come down. We've got to scratch. Krug, some of the speed comes out, and I think that helps the chances even more of up against it. The main speed draws inside, Helms deep, off of a break, hasn't been seen in 311 days. There's designated hitters in Sanchez Solomon. We saw that combo walk with the dog in a maiden race. So Helms deep, going to take the field, I think, a ways. But up against is shown the ability. to pair up numbers. Did it a few races back, 83 buyer, 80 buyer, coming back off of that and sitting just outside of Rubble and going on with it. I think the same kind of trip will hold true. Helms Deep, I think, is going to carry him away. And this one, if the only knock I've got really up against it is that he did ride the wave of the racetrack last time. He got to the front, controlled things. It was a very easy victory. So hopefully that didn't take a ton out of him coming back here today. Shadows Helms Deep, and I hope can continue on. Bobby G, your top selection.
Yes.
Always love this horse. 10-year-old vet. Oh, my gosh.
How about this move of Mikey Gorham? He's a 17-time winner. He's a 10-year-old. Blinkers on.
Yeah.
I love this move by Mikey Gorham. Let's do something to wake this horse up, something a little bit different. He can throw you a race. He loves it here at Laurel Park. He's a 14-time winner. He's been good on and off track. There's certainly a lot to like here.
The only thing, I went back and looked, the only time this horse had blinkers was on the turf in 2022. So, yeah, and this move, the last 3 years, I'm talking 27% with the blinkers on move for Mikey Gorham with a 338 ROI.
Jamie Rodriguez gets the call there.
Yeah, I think he's gonna like the flow. If Krug would have stayed in, I think he would have even liked it a little bit more, possibly a bit more of a contested pace up front. But Bobby G, he's just a war horse to grind it out from off the pace. Let's roll to the 8th because I know we're getting
get to the 8th race,
time.
Extra Heat. This is the first of our 2 stakes here this afternoon. This is the beginning of our march to Black Eyed Susan and Preakness. These are our first 3-year-old stakes of the season. This is an interesting race. Take out the 2, Kiss for Luck. We're going 3/4 of a mile for $100,000. We get an interesting clash here. We match up the 2 best female trainers in America last year, maybe 2 of the best trainers, period.
Overall,
in Linda Rice and Brittany Russell. And we're going to start with the 4, Heart. This is my top pick. We're going to look at her debut race, December 29th, right here at Laurel Park. And I know going into this race, talking to Brittany, this is a filly she really liked.
Yeah, I tell you, very impressive performance. 3 wide early, even about the 3 path on the turn, outside of a horse that took a lot of play. A well-meant first, had been working well for Miguel Vera. The word was out. But Hart said no, stayed latched onto that one around the turn. And it's this last 1/8 of a mile that really catches your eye. Bill called this chart, my partner. I'm kind of taking the notes and everything and watching on the TV as he's calling everything out. And I'm like, well, I'm watching this one go through. I said, she's going to be a stakes winner at some point. It might be today, right back. She looked really, really good. It's hard for me to separate the 3 and the 4. Reconcile for Linda Rice. They're really, really close. I think Reconcile beat a little bit better field. Visually, home track edge. Heart had to run over this racetrack. Tough for me to kind of get between these 2, but that was a really good last
race.
And
I
kept
give
on
the
going.
edge to Heart. I like the fact that she's drawn outside Reconcile this afternoon. I think that works in her favor. She's already shown the ability to kind of lay off a horse, finish a little bit. Should be able to handle a track with some moisture in Boltior, big brown mare. There's no doubt about that. But let's talk about the 3. Reconcile for Linda Rice. Jamie Rodriguez gets the call. Impressive winner in debut. No doubt about that. Earned a good fig just like Hart.
It was real good. A bobble at the break, a stumble almost, but quickly, recovered. Was able to get out there, kind of use that speed to her advantage, separated around the turn, and had enough left the last 1/8 of a mile to hold off a Brad Cox first-time starter. That 3rd-place finisher came back to win clear with a 71 buyer. So I think definitely a little stronger field for a barn that doesn't win a lot first time out. So this horse may not have even been fully cranked. Cranked now off the race, 2 works since, even a 3/4 and 13. We could be in for a really, really good horse race if these 2 separate from the field, hook up at the quarter pole. Let's take it from there. But if they do, lurking, I think Ronan got us for Hammy. She's just been unfortunate. Her last few races, a lot of bad luck. Caught 2 races back, a stumble at the break, caught wide. Last time wide on a stone-cold inside day. Things go okay with her the first 1/8 of a mile. She's going to bring a run into these 2.
Yeah, I like Ronan Goddess. Got her at the bottom, but she's got 3 races. 4 races there where she didn't get away. 3 of her 6 lifetime starts. She's drawing the rail this afternoon. Maybe I just got middle-aged man angst, but I can't stand a horse that doesn't get away from the gate. It
Yeah.
drives me crazy because when they don't get away, you're most times done
Yeah.
for the race. But good, she's going to have to get away well. The 5 CC Royale, look, didn't run bad and did her second race of her career. Ran a decent figure up there at Parks. Is cut out to handle the off-going. That's what she's going to get today. And, you know, Hammy Smith, I like this one a little bit better than the one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The tactics, CC Royal off of that route. Will she be quick enough? Is she going to settle enough? She brought a great finish 2 races back on the front. And just Ronan Goddess, you're talking about the break. Yeah, it's definitely frustrating.
Yes.
A stumble, I'll give her a pass. Last time out didn't come off terrible, but that wide against the bias gives me a little bit of hope today. Bred to handle an off track. She's got a kick. I think just the first few strides, if she's okay coming out of there, she's going to draft into a position for Barbosa, and I think bring a kick. But this is interesting. And when you look at the 3 and the 4, tough to separate. These two very similar from a breeding standpoint. When I look at the mare, second there, turf and a little stretch out could definitely be in the future for both of these runners, for the Rice runner and the Russell runner. So interesting futures for those two.
Yeah, no doubt. And Ronan Goddess down to the inside. She just has to break okay.
Yes. Yeah.
She just can't break bad. She doesn't have to break sharp. She just got to break with the field, and then let it sort out from there. That's race 8, the extra heat this afternoon, the first of our 2 stakes. Let's move to race number 9. Let's take out the 4 and the 7. This is a 3 other than. Going a mile and a 16th. Keith, you have the 6 Messier on top. Look, high hopes for this son of Empire Maker early, and rightly so, no doubt about it. Then took a 5-month break, came back, ran, and then took almost an 11-month break. He certainly hasn't returned to that form, but that was a decent effort up there, Woodbine.
I thought it was. Off a little sluggish, pretty good field. Came on very well. The last 1/8 of a mile, worked through a little traffic, kept on well. This is going to be first time Lasix on the dirt. So looking at some of those 90, 99s, whatever on the go back. Richard Dutrow here. Messier.
Ever hear of him?
Yeah. Going on the way back. I have Coffee with Chris, Outlier, some speeds. Messier, will he try to run him right into the ground early? I think he may just take up shop right off the speeds and try to go on with it from the 3/8 pole home.
Well, look, Empire Maker out of a Smart Strike mare, never been an off track, but should handle it without any worry at all, and it might even improve. Certainly off his most recent races. I went to the outside with the 9 Outlier. You know, just forget about the Oak Lawn race. 25-1 really had no shot there. But this is a horse that shows up here at Laurel Park, can deliver you a good race. Did back here in October, and a good solid number that day. Has been good on and off track. He's a 10-time winner. You like the 10. I like the 10 too. Yodel Eahu. This is a 14-time winner of $631,000. Knows how to get it done.
Just the situation really kind of dull last time at Parks. You're getting a high percentage trainer jockey combo at a price. A horse has shown the ability. Kind of surprised me on the go back in July to beat that field going 2 turns. I kind of always thought he was a 1-turn kind of horse, 7-8 sprinter, 6 to bring that run. But he's shown the ability. Needs things to really heat up, though, on the front end to get him home today. That's why I think, you know, from a tactical standpoint, Messier gets the jump on these. Coffee with Chris, if Outlier decides to kind of take back a little further, Coffee with Chris, he's dangerous. I think on the front end of 2 turns. Don't let him get relaxed the first quarter of a mile.
And gets that good inside draw. But Yodel Eahu, look, this is a horse that likes it here at Laurel Park. I think he's a better 2-turn horse. Jamie Ness, 7/8 of a mile, 2 times in a row. Not his cup of tea, but Ness is 28% sprint to route. Outside draw, typically going a mile 16th here with Laurel would bother me, but not with this one's particular running style. He can tuck in no problem at all. Let's talk about Martini Martin real quick. 4 in a row, stepping up, 3 consecutive 81 Beyer speed figures, and interesting for sure.
Real easy winner 2 races back. Moved well in hand to get it done. Slipped through inside to draw away. Got it done from the back, against an okay group. I thought 2 other than solid enough. Has to run a little faster. This is where the rubber meets the road for Martini Martin.
That's race 9, a nice allowance race. Let's move to race 10. This is the second of our stakes today, the spectacular bid, 7/8 of a mile. 3-year-olds, straight 3-year-olds this afternoon. Take out the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6. Unfortunately, I think there's going to be some buyer remorse here. There's no doubt about it. There's horses that have run well on and off track, handle an off track, and that's just my opinion, but there you have it. Let's start with the 8. Let's go straight to the video. This one comes in for Dickie Dutrow again, Aqueduct, November 30th. And we're going to pick this one up mid-turn.
So I'm going to assume the 5 has now come out. That's the one we didn't have earlier.
5 is out.
So changes the complexion again a little bit about this race because Sweet Saudi J, I guess, will be on the engine for Ginter and Barbosa. But Guanare, what an improvement over the last 2 races. Look, what looked like a little bit of a give-up in for 40. 2 back, got the win, and comes back against this group, good group, horses of winners, and just rolls away by 6 and change, 88 buyer. Comparing the times and everything, it works, or it ran as quick, or might have been quicker than like a 10-time winner that run some monster numbers in the past that same day. The Dutrow factor coming in, we've got a little bit of a stat for you. 4 for 13 the last year, 31%, 9 for 13 the money off of this kind of a break, 31 to 60-day layoff. After a win, looks awfully tough in here, but what a major ascent and a rapid ascent. Marat is going to be the rider here, not Gomez for Guanare, and I think he's also riding Messier too.
There you go. Look, going to handle an off track, should run happy, City Zip Mare.
Oh yeah.
For me, we're just giving the money away here, unless Sweet Saudi J can show up somehow. Had to have him looks pretty up against it. But they're going to be second and third, right?
Yeah, he surprised me a few races back, as big as he ran in the James F. Lewis. That was a big try going in there against Inveigle, a horse that came back to win an allowance at Gulfstream. I think ran okay in his stakes. So, Guanare prompts and should go on at a very, very short price in the spectacular bid.
Let's move to race number 11. We'll just talk about our top pick because I thought I was sharp as a tack here in race number 11. Do take out the 1A part of entry and the 2. Yum, eat 'em up for Hammy Smith this afternoon was my price play of the day, but we've probably given that away. Didn't really do anything good, and he didn't even do that much bad either, running 3/4 and 5.5. The stretch out helps.
Stretch out's the key. The last 3 years on the dirt with these maiden claimers, he's 3 for 10, 7 for 10 in the money with an ROI of 448. You're looking for that little bit of a bailout. This one wants the stretch out. Took serious play for a hammy firster in a 12-horse field in debut. That kind of caught my eye. Second, Lasix. Chavez, I think is going to be able to kind of grind it out, get the distance. Just looking for the value between the 3 and the 5. Irish, Rage, checks all the boxes with these couple moves when you're looking from a betting standpoint.
Sure.
ROI, first Lasix and the sprinter route angle for Timmy Keefe has been good.
We both like the 3 in the nightcap. Yum, eat 'em up. Keith, let's move straight on to your best bet and your value play of the day.
Okay, short price, Galatians 7 to 5, a morning line. Looking for the win here. Claim off of this horse. I claimed this horse at this level a few races back. Couple good tries, had a little trouble. Wasn't going to beat the winner last time out, but if faced better, I think his run gets him past these the last, say, 3/16 of a mile top stretch. He can take the initiative. Yep.
And your value play of the day is,
value play. We lose a little bit with a scratch in there. Up
sure.
against the 10-1 morning line. Rode the wave of the racetrack last time, but I like him situated just off the main speed. The Sanchez Salaman horse for designated hitters, I think, will be out there early, Helms deep. If it doesn't take too much out of him, you'll know it about the 3/8 pole, what we got with up against it. Hopefully he's locked and loaded to go by.
That will do it for us at today at the races. Dan Illman will join me this afternoon for the races, so we're looking forward to that. Right now, we're going to listen to Dave Rodman with Scratches and Changes.
All right, good luck, everybody.